am Vitaly Portnikov. The forthcoming visit of President Vladimir Putin of Russia to Beijing will serve as yet another proof of the strong strategic understanding and cooperation between the two nations, further solidifying the already robust relationship and shared interests of Russia and China. I want to remind you that Xi Jinping, the President of the People's Republic of China, made his first visit to Russia immediately after his re-election as the head of China. This visit highlights the significance of the China-Russia relationship, as it occurred right after his successful re-election as President of China. At present, Putin, subsequent to his own re-election as the head of Russia, is embarking on his inaugural visit to China, marking his first official trip to the country since being re-elected. Both leaders have a crystal-clear understanding of the importance and benefits of their strategic partnership. And the essence of this understanding lies in the shared confrontation that is experienced by the countries of the West. The future outlook of the world is intricately tied to the success of the union formed between Russia and China, two influential global powers. Will authoritarian regimes be able to prove to democracies that they have the right to act according to their own rules, and that the rules established after World War II, implying equality of sovereign states, are not sufficient evidence to validate the actions of either China or Russia, thus challenging the legitimacy of the international order established post-World War II and the principles of sovereign equality among nations. Without a doubt, China is currently exercising greater caution in its actions compared to Russia. However, this is because the Chinese leadership possesses economic evidence of its own influence, which is the simple reason for their confidence. Russia has virtually no such evidence remaining, and Vladimir Putin is compelled to resort to the use of force in order to demonstrate the validity of his own position and provide substantiation for his claims. It is precisely this emphasis on military force that has led to Putin's protracted and relentless war against Ukraine. In the recent months, it has become increasingly clear that China is fully prepared to offer its support to Russia in this ongoing war. Chinese companies are helping to restore and improve the Russian military-industrial complex through their assistance and expertise. This was explicitly mentioned by the Secretary of State of the United States, Antony Blinken, during his official trip to China. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China has put forward its own alternative proposal in an effort to bring an end to the protracted war in Ukraine. This alternative plan has the potential to completely torpedo the World Summit that is scheduled to take place in Switzerland. The city of Kiev had high hopes that its initiatives, which primarily aimed at restoring international law, would garner strong support and endorsement at this crucial summit. China puts forward a completely different option, freezing the conflict. In this, the interests of China are in alignment with the interests of Russia. If Vladimir Putin is willing to cease the war against Ukraine, it would be exclusively for the purpose of implementing a ceasefire, with the objective of enhancing its own army's capabilities, with the objective of strengthening its own economy's capabilities, with the objective of gaining opportunities for a decisive blow that has the potential to break Ukraine's will to resist. However, one can inquire, to what extent is China truly interested in strengthening the strategic partnership with Russia? Clearly, such strengthening is also not a part of the plans that the President of China has in mind at this particular time. His objective is to establish a strategic relationship with Russia with the aim of transforming China into a senior partner, as this is what he desires. This is precisely what has been occurring in the past few years. China has essentially taken the place of the Western countries in the economy of Russia. In Moscow, they were optimistic that there would be numerous countries that could serve as an alternative to the West. But unfortunately, this expectation did not materialize. The rearmament of Russia relies on China. Whether North Korea will supply Russia with the necessary armaments depends on the favor of China. China plays a crucial role in determining Russia's access to the required military equipment. Russia's backing on the global stage is contingent upon China's support and cooperation in international affairs. The current position held by Vladimir Putin cannot be compared to the position currently held by Xi Jinping at this point in time. The President of China holds a meeting with the President of the United States. Currently, he is on a visit to France as part of a major state visit, which is of great significance. He is visited by the Federal Chancellor of Germany in Beijing. All of these events are something that Vladimir Putin can only dream of at this current moment. Thus, for Russia, China is not just a mediator, but rather it serves as its window to the civilized world, providing a crucial connection and access to global affairs. China views Russia as a capable state that has the potential to weaken the West through policies aimed at destabilizing Europe, thereby creating a sense of instability and vulnerability in the region. Simultaneously, Russia is also gradually weakening its positions while being actively engaged in the protracted conflict that is unfolding in the post-Soviet space. China thus becomes the guarantor of the sovereignty of the former Soviet republics that accept the terms of engagement proposed by Russia, solidifying their independence. Currently, the leaders of Belarus, Kazakhstan, and other countries in Central Asia are looking towards the president of China for guidance and support in their decision-making processes and regional affairs. In essence, China is offering these nations the guarantee that they will maintain their sovereignty and continue to exist as independent states. However, it sets forth explicit conditions. These conditions necessitate that the countries in question adhere to authoritarian rule and foster a positive relationship with Moscow. It is crucial for them to meet these requirements as stipulated in the agreement in order to remain in compliance. The peace plan proposed by China implies that in the future, if Ukraine is defeated in the war with Russia, it will become precisely such a state, being a part of both the Chinese and Russian spheres of influence, according to the plan put forward by China. Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping will have a lot to discuss. They share a common vision of the world that will emerge as the positions of the United States and European countries weaken, presenting ample opportunities for collaboration and shaping the global landscape according to their shared interests. Both parties possess a mutual understanding that chaos serves as a highly effective tool in undermining the strength of the Western nations and their influence. China presents lucrative economic opportunities as its substantial contribution to the overall prosperity and growth of this union. As its contribution, Russia offers new and ongoing conflicts, which are minor cuts that have the effect of weakening the West and undermining its stability. If the civilized world fails to grasp the gravity of the threat posed by the combination of the potentials of the People's Republic of China and the Russian Federation in a timely manner, it will inevitably be unable to avoid defeat, even if its own economic and military potential surpasses that of Russia and China. Understanding the seriousness of this threat is crucial for the civilized world to secure its future. Due to the higher inclination of authoritarian leaders compared to leaders of democratic countries, there is a stronger determination to take action in order to weaken the opponent. And above all, they have an abundance of time at their disposal. In the midst of the frenzy of how politicians in democratic countries operate from one electoral cycle to the next, Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping maintain a strong belief that, even within a span of a few years, they will have the capability to actively pursue their ambitious agendas aimed at undermining the Western powers wherever they have the means to do so. Utilize the opportunities of his support and sponsor Nauru,